Minutes of pop fiction. Venture into a world of fantasy, animation, gaming, mythical language, graphic novels, robotics, and sci-fi. 60 Minutes of Pop Fiction. Hosted by Marty Tengco. Thursdays 9 to 10 p.m. Created for radio by Kooky Tuason. Only here on your new music alternative, Jam 88.3.
And that was Star Trek by Baal from the album The Lilith Complex. Hello everyone, welcome to 60 Minutes of Pop Fiction. Marty here, and I have with me my guest co-host for tonight, John Sideno. Hi John.
Hello guys, how are you? Hi Marty.
Hello again. This will be the second time we'll be talking about Klingon, haven't we?
Just Klingon or Star Trek?
Star Trek, yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
Star Trek,
Klingon.
yeah.
Although the first time we did this, it was just Klingon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just Klingon.
Basic Klingon.
Yeah. So today we'll try to fit into a few minutes everything that John's passion. One of them actually is Klingon and Star Trek. He has a lot of hobbies and fandoms, guys. Don't start there. Okay. Again, I played Baal. Apparently, that song, the musicians wrote the song, and they were thinking about the utopian society of Star Trek. If you're familiar with Star Trek, it's all about, there's no cash or anything, right? In Star Trek, it's just like service. It's like a give and take society. Yes, indeed. All right, I just have to do some greetings here. I hope you guys love the song. I did. Melvin Alcala, hello po. Hi. Cecil Artates, hello. Nath Briones, yeah, rock on to you too. Cam Divina, ayos, hello to you too. Russell Jason Manriquez, up guys, streaming from Davao City. Cheers. Thank you so much. And what's this? Cam Divina, watching from Antipolo, mapagpalang gabi din sa'yo. Thank you so much for listening. Melvin Padilla, and then Eric Jabas, ayos, sarap pampatulog. Really? Pampatulog mo yan? Well, I hope makakatulog ka with that song. Nate Evan, hello, thank you so much. Johanna Carissa Fernandez, hello, and thank you so much. Thank you guys for tuning in. Again, we're on Facebook Live. Just look for Jam 8.3. Follow me, Marty Tengco, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We also have a text line, 0915-349-0883. John, do you have a social media they can contact you? Or
no.
How about the Facebook pages that you are part of if they want to join?
You can join at Star Trek Philippines. That's the via asterisk. Via asterisk, yes. Your tactical officers on the bridge. Hi guys, good evening. Also to my brothers at the Philippine Garrison, the 501st Legion. These are the stormtroopers.
Right.
And hello.
Stormtroopers is Star Wars, guys. If you get confused, they just start with the first, which is Star, but that's different. Star Trek and Star Wars are two different things. They're both sci-fi, and we're getting there. All right, John. So, why did you like Star Trek? What was the first that you saw? Was it a toy, a movie, a TV series? Why did you like Star Trek?
Well, to be honest, I think I got hooked in Star Trek when I was 8 years old.
That young? Wow.
Yeah, they just finished with the run of the original series.
The original series, yeah.
Yes, and I do remember a few episodes. As a kid, I remember my first three heroes, my boyhood heroes, are all named James. There's James Bond, James West, and James Kirk. And
indeed.
Yeah, and the good thing about Star Trek, it became popular in syndication. So it's being shown almost in any channel. It jumps channels. Sometimes it's on, back then it was Channel 7, there was on Channel 4, Channel 13, and there was a time the Armed Forces Network in Olongapo.
Right.
Clark Air Base.
Wow,
so,
they did.
Yeah, so everybody hooks up an antenna, UHF, and Star Trek. And I think that's where I really believed I was a Trekkie at the time.
And so you watched. So how were you able to know? I know we didn't have internet back then, but how were you able to know that you were updated with the episodes? Because I'm sure there was no movies then.
Well, for the record, the original series only went for 70. Well, you can correct me or not. 76 episodes, only 3 seasons.
Yeah.
And it did not pick up until the cast members started going on these Trek conventions. So they were going from. The fans put up their own conventions. Okay. And everything is by hand. I mean, it's snail mail. They write to each other, and they'll write to the studio. We want, let's say, we want the cast. We want William Shatner. We want Leonard Nimoy. We want Walter Koenig. We want George Takei. The cast of Star Trek.
Right.
And the cast will be gracious enough. They'll show up.
Yeah. Wow.
And from a convention of 50 people. In the span of 2 years, it became a convention for 6,000 people.
Wow.
And apparently, the studio found out there is
a fandom.
There is a fandom of Star Trek.
Wow. Can you guys believe that? From 50 to 6,000. Wow. Okay, so during this time, there were no movies yet.
No movies yet.
And apparently, what were your memorable? Which would you prefer more, the movies or the TV series?
Well, that is one question you never ask a Trekkie
Oh,
because
sorry.
we love all of them.
Sorry, of course, just like what I promote. But sometimes there are small biases. So you love all of them, all the reboots and everything, all of the.
Not exactly all of them. I like them because there's always going to be a Star Trek film. There's also going to be a Star Trek series. Like last year, we have a new series called Discovery.
Yeah.
This was well, it was supposed to be 10 years before Captain Kirk took command of the Enterprise.
Okay. Yeah. I think I remember. I've seen the trailer.
It's on CBS All Access. You
Right,
can also watch it on Netflix.
Yeah.
The next season will come out next year.
All right. You guys watch it out?
And Netflix, thank you for Netflix, all Star Trek series are on Netflix now. So it's accessible to everybody.
Now.
So you can watch from...
The 1970...
From 1966.
66.
From original series.
Yeah.
Captain Kirk.
Right.
Or you can go to...
Which is William Shatner.
William Shatner. And you can also watch Next Generation with Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
Or the other spin-offs, which is Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise, and Discovery.
See, guys, that's how much you have to catch up on if you're not into Star Trek yet. Okay, John, what was the first episode? What was the first toy that you purchased as a Trekkie?
Well, it's not as much I purchased. It was a gift from my cousin. It was, we don't have a term for them yet. Although the box says phaser set. Now it's called an away mission set. So basically it's a belt.
I think I've seen... Okay, yeah.
It's a belt.
Yeah.
But this is the original series. It's a belt. There's a phaser. There's a tricorder. And there's a communicator that flips up.
Yes. Okay. The reason why I'm laughing, guys, because there's a TV series called, what's this, The Toys?
The Toys That Made Us.
The Toys That Made Us. And they're talking about all the toys for Star Trek. And there's a part where they failed. There were failures with the toys.
Yeah, because back then in the 60s, they will just buy a license from the studio.
Yeah.
And the studio doesn't care, just as long as the name Star Trek is on the toy.
Yeah.
Then some of these manufacturers will use their old toys that never sold.
Yes.
Put a Star Trek sticker on it.
Yes.
This is a Star Trek helmet with with a revolving light, which I never saw in the Star Trek series. Just to like the extent of they're trying to cash in the popularity of Star Trek at the time.
That is true. If you watch the Toys R Us, you would see that the Toys That Made Us. Sorry, correct me. I'm corrected. Sorry. Toys That Made Us. There's a part wherein they chop parts from different toys.
Yes.
And they just stuck it in and then sewed some cloth, and that's it. Voila! You have a Star Trek toy that is in no way, in anywhere, look like the character at all.
Yeah, I'm going to go a bit off topic now, because it's like recently there's this show. They're commemorating I think it's the 35th anniversary of He-Man, the Master of the Universe, and they showed us. It showed how they made the toys. Basically, these are very old toys that didn't sell. They just stuck clay on them. It came to the point that it became so big, it became the standard size for He-Man. This is just like a piece of trivia for toys.
So, guys, that's the thing about having a fandom. The thing is, there are all sorts of the upside of fandom and there's the downside of fandom, which is the epic fail on toys. There's sometimes movies, but so far, as I was talking to John before on air, and I was asking him what were the things that you liked about the episodes or what. And so far, at least with Star Trek, there's really no problems whatsoever with both the films and the episode. It's more of the other fandoms that we do have.
No, it's not the fandoms. Just like like any fandoms in acquired taste. Like I like Star Trek.
Yeah.
I don't get Harry Potter much, or Lord of the Rings.
That's clear.
I like them both, but I'm not really like.
You're not a fan.
I'm not say as a fan of the fandom.
Right.
I mean, I like the movies.
Yeah, sure.
I like the books.
Yeah, sure.
But I'm not the type that will go really dig into the fandom.
Right.
Star Trek for me because I grew up on it.
Exactly. That's the thing about fandoms, because you grew up with it. Therefore, you stick by it and you're like loyal as crazy with the fandom. Now, the thing is, I would like, because I know we've talked about it. You've informed me, but not my listeners. So, what was Klingon? What is Klingon? Because the thing is, when I was checking, like, some gist. I'm so sorry, John. I didn't have time to watch all of it. But Klingon wasn't really one of the first characters that was created for the series.
Just remember, back in the 60s, this is the height of the Cold War. So
right.
You got the US, you got the communists.
Yes, sure.
So the capitalists and communists. Mm-hmm. So, of course, they have to come up with the Federation, which where the universe of Star Trek is. Mm-hmm. So there's already harmony. Planets are part of a federation.
Right.
So, of course, there has to be like an antagonist.
Right.
So originally the antagonists were the Romulans.
Yes.
The Romulans, which is actually the Romulans actually share the same history as the Vulcans. But the difference is the Vulcans purge their emotional characteristics,
so they don't have emotion.
They replace it with logic.
Right, yeah.
The Romulans are the Vulcans then, and they kind of like they embrace that part of them being Romulans. That's how they distinguish them from Romulans. And
so the Romulans are the very emotional ones.
The emotional ones, the devious ones.
Because I remember, so if you did not watch the old series or the old movies, if you watch the 2009 Star Trek, that's very clear. If you see, they're the ones who burned. Is it them, right? The planet, right?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So those are the Romulans. Vulcans, that is Spock. And he had to save the leaders of their community, right? Those were the only ones he was able to save, not even his mother, right?
Well,
in this 2009.
Well, the move, just to be like on topic, the J.J. Abrams movies is what we call the Kelvinverse or the Abrams.
Right, Kelvinverse. Yeah.
It's the alternate reality. Basically, it's what supposed to happen in the time of Shatner's Kirk. But it totally changed in this
J.J. Abrams.
So basically, it's two different. It's an alternate reality.
Okay. Well, I'll get back to you, John. We'll have to play some music. I'll be playing "Move Along Home" by Edenbridge from the album Shine. Okay, this band actually named many of their songs because they're Trekkie fans, and I'll be playing "Where's Captain Kirk." Sorry, let me scratch that. Where's Captain Kirk by Spizzenergi. You're still here at Jam 8.3. This is still 60 Minutes of Pop Fiction. And this is still Marty. I'm still here with John.
Hi.
Jam 8.3, your new music alternative.
88.3. New Music Authority, Jam 88.3.
Parating na ang Red Horse. Astig. Ganito kalakas, kasarap ang Red Horse beer. Lakas! Lakas ng tama. Sarap! Pero di wasak. Red Horse Extra Strong, the #1 beer ito ang tama. Drink responsibly.
Red Horse Beer, 500 ml, 39 pesos SRP. Lakas! Red Horse Beer Litro, 78 pesos SRP. Yon ang tama. Drink responsibly.
Are you ready for this? We could be
Prepare for a 60-minute music onslaught of monstrous proportions. Live rounds. An epic barrage of the most memorable stage performances.
You don't come to my show and fight, you come to my show and dance.
Played in rapid-fire succession. Live rounds. 11 a.m. to 12 noon, Mondays through Thursdays on Jam 88.3. Tone it down and take a breather. Jam 88.3's Different Sunday.
Turn away if you could get me a
6 hours of familiar tunes. Given a unique twist.
It's like a hurricane, 'cause I'm secretly crazy for you.
The perfect soundtrack.
Can you explain to me what has become of us?
To cap off the final hours of the weekend.
Hold on to me, 'cause I'm a little unsteady.
Tuck away under the sheets with Different Sunday. Every Sunday starting 6 p.m. exclusively on Jam 88.3.
Never You Mind by Semisonic from the album Feeling Strangely Fine. Actually, the song is in reference to Spock's Brain, which is episode... Correct me if I'm wrong. This is season 3, episode 17 from the original series.
Thereabouts, yeah.
Yeah, because it's about, I think the part where Spock's brain was stolen.
I have to warn you, I can't answer you if you're going to ask me which season, episode something. I don't keep track.
Okay, but
basically,
but you do know that part where this Spock's brain was stolen.
It was this alien race. I kind of forgot.
Yeah, that weird.
Forgot what the name was.
Yeah.
Anyway, they had a computer that needed a processor, and the only processor you can find suitable was Spock's brain.
And the funny part is that, okay, I'm not gonna spoil. Okay, fine. I know it's an old series. If you haven't seen, I won't spoil. But yeah, okay. I'll just say hi to. Okay, hang on. I'll say hi to Joni Laveria. Hi, Joni. Julius Cuano Sardia. Dale. Hi, Dale. Sandro Zicarelli. Hi to the Zicarellis. Hi, Sandro. Rocky Hauhoko, blending with the weather. Thank you so much. And I do have a question now for John from Mark of Bukawi, Bulacan. And he said, cool topic. Ano po ang tawag sa hand gesture sa Star Trek?
If
John.
you're referring to the Vulcan salute, it's palm out, split in the middle.
Split in the middle. So you split your two fingers each on either side, left and right.
It's called the Vulcan greeting.
The Vulcan
or
greeting.
the Vulcan salute.
Vulcan salute.
The story with this is the actor Leonard Nimoy played Spock.
Yeah,
he's Jewish. So one time he was in synagogue when he was a boy. He was synagogue, and there was a part. There's a part in the mass that they are told to close their eyes.
Okay.
A child, being a child, was curious why you have to close your eyes, and he saw the priests, all of them with their hands stretched out, doing this symbol.
Oh,
actually, it's a Jewish symbol of faith.
All right,
so
the split.
The split. That's what they call it.
Okay.
So and when they were doing some things. They want to develop his character Spock.
Right.
So he invented the Vulcan neck pinch, then the Vulcan salute, and it caught on from there.
Oh, that's tidbit for you. So that's for you, Mark, and I hope that you could start practicing now. I'm having difficulty. When I try to do it, my fingers are shaking. We were trying to do that, having a photo, and it's so ridiculous. I know, John. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. So we left off with about Star Trek and all that, and about with relation to history. Why? Okay, so since it's Klingon that we're talking about, not exactly Star Trek, because Star Trek is huge. We're not gonna finish this 1 hour show. So when did the character Klingon enter into the series?
Well, the Klingons appeared in the original series.
The original
At that time,
series.
their appearance were humanoid.
Okay.
So basically, it's what the actors are trying to portray them as some Oriental Mongolian style.
Right. Okay.
It's like basically they represent North Korea, China at the time, Vietnam.
Right.
So that's what the Klingon looked like, but they were speaking in Terran or English.
Right.
So there is no other language at the time.
Oh, right.
So Klingon language was first heard on the motion picture, the first movie.
Oh, okay.
So, and the person who actually started in the movie, the language was just spoken for a short, just like a short scene, and it was cobbled together by James Doohan, the actor who played Montgomery Scott or Scotty.
Okay.
So back then he was quite the voice actor. So he and another producer came up with this language.
Okay.
Then later on, Mark Okrand, who is also showrunner for the Next Generation, developed. Came up with the Klingon dictionary. So from that point on, the Klingon language developed. From the second episode onwards, so the Klingon language was born.
Okay, if you watch Star Trek, you'll see that the Klingons, right?
Klingons.
They have this ridge, right?
Yes.
They have this odd ridge in their foreheads.
Yes.
And they're very warlike.
They're a warrior race.
They're a warrior race. Therefore, I am not So you guys should not be surprised that their language, in effect, is very much the same with their character.
Yes.
Okay, explain to them, like, what do they do? What are Klingons like compared to the other races? Because they're Vulcans, Romulans. Because Romulans are also war freaks. But how are they different from the Klingons?
Okay, if you're gonna put it like, let's put it in the military hierarchy. The Romulans are the spies.
Ah, interesting.
The Klingons are the foot soldiers.
Ah, okay. And then, therefore, so if they're the soldiers, but they have a sense of organization. They just don't.
The Klingons are divided by houses, and well, when the showrunners of Next Generation decided to build on the Klingon mythos, so they took parts from the samurais,
okay,
in Japan,
okay,
from the Vikings.
All right.
Wow, so
that's very intense.
It's like a mishmash of all the warrior races.
Right, I could feel that. All right.
With the Japanese, they took the concept of honor, which is above and beyond the most important thing to a Klingon. A Klingon without honor is nothing.
Oh, okay, got it. All right. So they got those these from old warriors, and therefore that's the reason why they're like that. They're very strict with their they're very strict with their beliefs. Even so, that's the thing though. If I remember correctly, there's a Klingon on the Starfleet.
The Enterprise.
On Enterprise, right? And he's the only Klingon there.
Well, at the start of Next Generation, Lieutenant Worf was the only Klingon serving in Starfleet at the start of Next Generation. But as the series progresses, you'll run into a few other Klingons. Some of them will actually serve in Starfleet, and there are some Starfleet officers who actually will serve on Klingon ships.
Okay.
Like what Commander Riker did, and Worf's brother Kern served as the first officer of the Enterprise. Then there's another series, Voyager, when they have a half Klingon, half human engineer, Villana Torres.
Oh, but I'm curious though. So it's a good. I'm curious because Klingons have their own government and all that. How come like they allowed that they even went to Starfleet? Because basically humans and all that, they have their own government and all that. So how come is it okay for the Klingons that someone is working for humans and the Enterprise?
Well, at the end of episode 6, Star Trek 6, this is the point of the Khitomer Accords where the Federation and the Klingon Empire were going to sign the peace accords because the moon of the Klingon homeworld, Kronos, which is also their main manufacturing planet, is dying.
Okay.
And they will not survive for the next 50 years. So they decided to ally themselves with the Federation.
Oh, okay, got it.
And that's when the story started. When Next Generation, 70 years later, after the Khitomer Accords, you'll see a Klingon officer serving on the bridge of the Enterprise, the flagship.
Ah, that's why. So it's more of like an ex-deal kind of thing.
No, it's like let's say World War II. In World War II, the U.S. is at war with Japan,
right,
and Germany.
Yes.
Now they're practically allies.
Basically, right. It's a political, the political climate. All right. Well, apparently, I'm gonna go back and play some music. I'll be playing "Make It So" by the Dickies. Oh, do I have readings? Oh, okay. I do. Oh, hi to Izel. I'm sorry.
Make it so.
Yeah. Izel Deloso, hi. Thank you so much for listening. Again, guys, we're on Facebook Live. Just go to Jam 8.3. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, Marty Tengco. John already had mentioned, again, what are the Facebook groups that they could join if they want?
Star Trek Philippines. Look for the page of the USS Kalayaan. Yes, we have a ship. It's called the Kalayaan.
That is so Filipino. Imagine what if Star Trek, they could put it in the series. We have a Filipino version.
We just celebrated our 17th year last Saturday as a group.
Wow.
Well, you're more than welcome to join us.
Definitely. So just say that you actually heard from Jam 8.3. All right. We will be, of course, we'll come back. We will be playing some song again. That is Make It So by the Dickies. What else am I going to play?
Make It So.
Again.
Sorry. You put it there. So I can't do a proper Patrick Stewart, but Make It So.
Again, this is 60 minutes of... John, stop it. 60 minutes of pop fiction and Jam 8.3. Your new music alternative.
Energize.
New Music Authority, Jam 88.3. New Music Authority, Jam 88.3.
Minsan kinakabahan ka. Napapaisip, may nakalimutan ba ako? Tama bang pinagalitan ko ang anak ko? Ano ba sabi na ibang mga mamis? Pakinggan mo lang ang iyong puso. Dahil dyan galing ang iyong purong pagmamahal. As pure as absolute distilled drinking water. The #1 distilled water brand in the country. Dahil para sa kanila, ikaw ang #1. Ako po si Judy Ann Santos Agancillo na nagsasabing magtiwala ka sa iyong pure and absolute love. Pure water, pure love.
Absolute Pure Distilled Drinking Water, the #1 distilled water brand in the Philippines, in groceries, convenience stores, and drugstores.
Bask in the nature of creation and recreation.
But the sun will rise the day after tomorrow, when the planet is watered by our sorrow.
With an album dedicated to spoken word.
When the water gets rough and I want to get off this boat, we're both in together.
Because Pilipinas, the album.
And love like fire kindles red and blue.
Andito ang sikat ng araw, gumuguhit sa balikat ko.
Featuring Ryan Gonzalez, Danton Remoto, Jeannie Mata, Mike Carroza, Lord De Vera, Kooky Tuason, and more.
Take care of the sound and sense takes care of itself, they say.
One could get lost in diagrams illustrated by spaces between points of clocking in and out of keeping words.
Pen is power, and so is your voice. Because Pilipinas, the album. Out now on Spotify, iTunes, and Deezer. Only from your new music alternative. Jam 88.3. Balian ng Leeg tuwing Sabado, alas 7 ng gabi.
That was Phasers on Kill by Screeching Weasel from the album Bark Like a Dog. Prior to that, I actually played Banditos by the Refreshments from the album, and get that, Fizzy, Fuzzy, Big, and Buzzy. Guys, I'm not kidding. That's a real and legitimate album. Hello and welcome again to 60 Minutes of Pop Fiction on Jam 8.3. This is still Marty, and I still have John.
Hello, guys. I'm still here.
And we're still talking about Klingons. Okay, we tried to do some crash course in history and Klingon. So I was actually asking John about, like, for example, did any from the Klingon characters become a captain? And apparently,
the most famous Klingon in Star Trek will always be Worf.
Mm-hmm.
So from the security officer on the Enterprise, he became the military liaison for Deep Space Nine, and subsequently, if Captain Sisko's not around, he's the commander of the USS Defiant, top little ship. And he became if you're going to extend all the way to the series, to the expanded universe,
right?
He became the Klingon. He was the Klingon chancellor, and apparently, what is Worf doing nowadays? I honestly don't know.
Definitely, I don't know too. Okay, I remember we talked about this before, John, but I would like you to share their initiation rites. That is very interesting. I still am amazed with their initiation rites.
What you call this? It's called the Klingon Rite of Ascension.
Ascension. Okay.
Okay, so a little backstory. The Klingons are a warrior race, and if you're born in a house of warriors, you are required to go through the rite of ascension. At a certain age, you do these quests, these vision quests.
Right.
Among them is you have to walk through a gauntlet with warriors standing on the side, and they will jab you with pain sticks, or basically their version of a cattle prod.
Oh my God.
So 2 cattle prods, and you have to walk the entire gauntlet.
Oh my God. And then afterwards, it's a long walk, right? Obviously because it's painful, so it's longer because you're in pain.
No, there are 3 levels of ascension, rites of ascension. So one when you're a child, a second when you're an adolescent, and when you become a man.
Okay, I remember you told me that they have to say thank you or something like that. Not thank you.
The Klingons do not say thank you.
Sorry, but they say something like that they appreciate it. Or something. Remember you told me that after they go through that rite of ascension, when they are able to stand up, they have to say something.
Kupla.
That's it. And what does kupla mean?
Success.
Oh. Okay, now, since we're already talking about language, would you like to share, please? Before that, okay. So, since they're a warrior race, obviously, the way they talk is like they're being... I don't know. It's like German, right? The sound of it. It's very strong and very...
one of the actors did say something like German Arabic. It's actually,
really throaty,
It comes from the throat and
from the head. It's giving me a headache.
Spittle is encouraged.
Yeah. Okay, so imagine that you have to have this. You're willing to scrub your throat dry. Well, not really totally, but almost. And then it will be like you really have to concentrate and to be able to speak these words. All right, John, what words are you going to share?
Chovoka.
What does that mean?
Do you trust me?
Okay, I'm so sorry. I know it sounds funny, but okay. All right, next.
Let's see. Loop ha.
Oh my God. If you saw me, I was like, what is he doing? Okay, what does that mean?
Let's go.
Seriously? Let's go?
Yes.
It sounded very dangerous to me.
That's how they talk.
All right.
Okay, let's do some more serious Klingon things like Nukos Ja.
What does that mean?
The enemy is coming.
Ah, okay. That makes sense though, because obviously it's dangerous. So the sound of it and the timbre. All right. Next.
Cha Ikus.
Why does it sound Mandarin or something? What does it mean?
Fire torpedoes.
I'm so sorry. Okay, for Trekkies, I'm not making fun of the language. It just sounds odd, really, compared to the other mythical languages. This is really difficult, I guess. I guess it's very difficult.
It's a fictional language. It's made up. So, actually, nothing sticks. It kind of sounds like that. It's not an actual. I don't know what you call
language. It's not.
No. The way you say it.
Right. But there's just one way of saying these words, right? There's no variation or anything. And like with real languages, right? Our language evolves.
Well, this is based on what I hear other actors say it. Sometimes, given the state of our traffic right now, Most of the time I listen to audiobooks.
Oh,
and even like listening to Star Trek audiobooks, and where there are Klingons involved.
Right.
Even the reader or the voice actors reading the book has a hard time saying the Klingon
I'm
words.
not surprised. It's really difficult. But unfortunately, if you want to learn Klingon, there's no way to learn Klingon, right?
Well, you can always download the Klingon language dictionary. It's downloadable.
Right.
There are videos on YouTube when they teach you basically Klingon.
Right.
You can also watch Star Trek series.
Right.
And there are episodes are Klingon specific. It's always the entire episode's all about the Klingons.
Right.
Especially with the new series Discovery. This is basic Klingon, so it's actually I can't keep up.
Oh, okay.
I can't keep up with even a single word. I cannot keep up with them.
Wow. Again, guys, the reason why I was just asking John about that is because when you make languages like real life languages, they evolve from the very first time the language was made, and until time and usage change words and usage over time. Like our Filipino words that we used back then, we don't use many of them now. So that's the reason why I'm asking John, is because obviously Klingon doesn't have that kind of, not that strong kind of evolution, but there is now a bit
after 50 years of Star Trek, you bound to build something.
Right, like a database of...
No, there is a database. Mark Ockrent saw to it. He even came up with an interactive, this is back in the 90s, an interactive CD.
Right.
And your teacher is the Klingon Chancellor Gowron at the time. So it's kind of a game. It's a first-person game, but
okay. All right.
You have to reply to him in Klingon, so you have to actually understand.
Oh my goodness!
You just have to click the answers, but you have to reply to him.
But you need to know, of course, how we're gonna reply to the guy.
You have to learn which to reply, because
it's
the situation could go sideways.
Right.
Like, instead of saying, "I concur, Chancellor," with your answer, you might actually click another answer and said, "I will kill the Pitak right now."
Wrong answer. But okay, I just forgot this question. John, why Klingon? There's so many races. Why do you like Klingon?
Well, Klingon because I'll probably...
there's data. Just kidding.
No,
there's
that's AI, but
data.
That's another thing.
Yeah, just joking. Okay.
Well, because with the Klingons, they actually built the they built the character race.
Right.
Klingons. They actually from a simple bad guy back in the 60s in the original series.
Right.
They built the entire mythos, and it's really believable.
Really?
So especially the history how the Klingon Empire was created.
Right.
About two brothers who fought themselves to a standstill for 3 days.
Wild. For 3 days?
For 3 days. So that was Kalis. And
wild.
So he took a lock of his long hair, he dipped into lava and shaped it into a blade, which became the most famous Klingon weapon of them all, the batlet.
Wow, look at that mythology right there. Okay, again, so if for a newbie, let's say, there's so many who are not familiar with the I know there have been movies, reboots, and whatnot. For those who don't know anything about Star Trek, what's the best where they could start? What best movie, TV series, or anything? Or, I don't know.
I would always leave it to them. I would suggest Next Generation is a good start. But I definitely always recommend go to the original series, William Shatner and all.
Right. That's 1966, you guys.
Yes, but because at the time, the thing about Star Trek, they were ahead of their time. They're socially relevant.
Yes,
every episode agree. Until, it was socially about Star Trek. It's so relevant that until Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and even Voyager, they were taking up socially relevant events at the time. Like there was an episode in Deep Space Nine, and it was the time of the Rodney King beatings in LA back in the 90s.
Okay, right,
so basically, based on that, the original series was based because of the Cold War.
Right.
Next Generation, it's about it covered a lot of things. There was politics.
Mm-hmm.
There was racism.
Right. Yeah,
slavery,
that's true. Yeah.
Everything they took up. What they were saying is, this could be our future. The future, but all of these will not exist.
Right. And I actually agree with the Utopian Society. It's very interesting that they're the only fandom I've ever.
They're not actually utopian. It's basically they just eliminated war.
Yeah.
Well, they
tried.
They tried. They were able to cure diseases. They were able to how do you call this? Well, they demonetize money. So
right. There's no currency, guys. There's no money.
Currency is no longer.
Yep.
They no longer pursue the desire for riches.
That is true.
And the desire it's the desire of exploration.
Right. Okay, so you guys, you could start from anywhere, but as John said, start with the original, because if you look at the original, you might feel it's very old, but I actually got hooked from the first few. I just didn't have time to watch all of it. That's a lot. That's like from the 60s to now.
Yeah, there's some episodes you actually can get into.
In middle. Yeah.
It's for Next Generation, I would for the original series, I would suggest Arena.
Okay.
That's Next Generation.
Episode something. Yeah.
Next Generation. You can go for the Drumhead. It's so relevant now, especially with our current political climate right now.
Now, so if you're into the political climate, you could listen to John. If you just want entertainment value, you could just start from anywhere.
Right, start from anywhere.
You could start with the movies if you like the movies. If you have Netflix, I'm sure you have Netflix. You could start from the 60s, the 66, the Star Trek originals. And again, we do have a Filipino Facebook page. It is
Star Trek Philippines. It's also called via asterisk USS Kalayaan. Yes, we have a ship. The USS Kalayaan.
Why Kalayaan though?
If you see, we have a registry number.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah,
I followed you. Hi guys, I followed you on Facebook.
Our registry number is NFC 61298.
That is legit.
61298 is our Independence Day.
Okay, but
June 12, 1898.
Oh, look at that. It was too fast. I didn't get to see the numbers. That is awesome. Okay, I have to do some greetings. Apparently, I'm seeing some greetings. Hi to Ryan Steezcore, McCoy Herobin, hi. Hi, Ren Saludes. And of course, Cookies fan, Deborah. Hi, thank you so much for listening. You guys, I love Cookies fans. They always listen to my show. So thank you so much. Even Mark from Bulacan is actually an original Cookie fan and then became my fan. Hi, you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Okay, John. Anything you'd like to share? Any event for Trekkies? Anything that they could visit or attend that will be coming up anytime soon?
Well, the closest one will be on September.
June.
Sorry, September 15. The Manila International Book Fair. There's another event inside the event. It's called Pop Hub. We're going to have guest speakers, and it's going to talk about Star Trek.
See, so you guys, if you want to know what it looks like, you could just go to MIBF. And what time would that be around?
I'm not so sure about the time. I definitely say around the afternoon. Yeah, or you can just sign up to the page.
Yeah,
we're
the
pretty friendly here.
USS Kalayaan, you guys.
Can I greet some of the guys here?
Of course.
I'd like to greet our captain, Pablo Halbuena.
Hello.
Hey, Cap. Dexter Enriquez.
Hello.
Also my CEO on the 501st. Nina Reyes. Carlo Francisco.
Hello, Trekkies. I can't
Hello,
do
Trekkie.
it. Yeah.
Gerard Season. Glenn Mark Antonio.
Oh, yeah. I know Glenn Mark.
Mayna Sabado. Ian, you guys know who you are. So, that's a lot. Joey Prats. Our favorite Joey Prats, of course.
I'd like to say hi to Karen Kunowitz. Apparently, she liked the video for today, the FB Live. Of course.
Hi, Karen.
Hello, Karen. We love you and we miss you. And again, if you would like to again, know about Star Trek, just follow the Facebook page. Again, we're on, I am on Facebook. Just look for Marty Tengco, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. John, just look for him on any Trekkie event or any fandom event. You'll see him anywhere and everywhere. He's more often than not there. He hardly misses fandom events like Star Wars, Star Trek, or whatnot. You'll see him there. He's not wearing the red shirt. There's this joke. What's this running joke with Trekkies with the red shirts?
Well, actually, it has to do with red shirts and stormtroopers.
Oh. Apparently, red shirts are similar with stormtroopers.
Well, to those people who are not familiar with the canon universe, red shirts in the original series are the guys that usually die in the first few minutes of the episode. So our joke is this guy, this guy's gonna die. This guy's gonna die because he's wearing a red shirt.
Yeah, I know.
So the joke is, stormtroopers can't aim, but red shirts still die.
That is so bad. That is bad joke.
It's a very old.
I know it's an old joke, but
joke.
It's a geek joke, definitely. Thank you so much, John, for tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Kooky. Thank you so much. And guys, you could follow again. My show is every Thursdays 9 to 10 p.m. here on Jam 8.3. Kooky Show because Filipinas is on Tuesdays 9 to 11. You guys, it's 2 hours, 9 to 11 p.m. And my next topic would be okay, tell me who's the director for Kill Bill.
Quentin Tarantino.
Exactly. So my topic next week will be all about Tarantino films. So tell me what your favorite Tarantino films next time on Thursday. This is still 60 minutes of Pop Fiction on Jam 8.3. I'll be leaving you with 2 songs. One is a request from John. He said, Marty, you have to play this song. It's a Trekkie fan song. Okay. So I'll be playing Starman by David Bowie from the album The Rise and Fall. This is a really long album. The Rise and Fall of Ziggy, Stardust, and the Spiders from Mars. That is quite a long album name.
It's Bowie.
It's Bowie, right. And I'll be playing Phasers on Stun by FM from the album Black Noise. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. I'll catch you guys on Thursday next week here on Jam 8.3, your new music alternative.
88.3, the city's new music alternative. Minutes of pop fiction. Venture into a world of fantasy, animation, gaming, mythical language, graphic novels, robotics, and sci-fi. 60 minutes of pop fiction. Hosted by Marty Tengco. Thursdays 9 to 10 p.m. Created for radio by Kooky Tuason. Only here on your new music alternative, Jam 88.